Welcome to This Week in Jacksonville Business Edition. I'm Kent Justice. This podcast focuses on economic development in the River City and really in our region. And today I'm joined by UNF President Moez Limayen. There are so many ways that the University of North Florida really contributes to and makes an impact on our local economy. I wanted to start here. This is kind of breaking news. This is the new stuff, an economic impact study by UNF. And the results are pretty spectacular. Why don't you share with us?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ken. Thank you for having me. It's so nice to see you. We're very proud. So we wanted to quantify what is really the economic impact of a great university like University of North Florida on a great region like Northeast Florida and great state. So we looked at the data for 2022, obviously, because 2023 is not over yet. And we're really just thrilled to see that just for 2022, the economic impact of UNF was $1,375,000 million.
So 1.375 billion.
We're talking about billions.
That's the. How do you define what an economic impact, or how do you measure the impact of UNF?
Exactly. So at a very high level, Kent, we measured by how much are we contributing to the economy of our region, our state. So, for example, we created nearly 8,000 jobs between faculty, staff, visitors, builders. Yep. That's a lot. We also measure how our students and graduate, how do they contribute to the economics of and the economy of our state and our region? So when you combine all of these, directly and indirectly, the number is very impressive, $1.375 billion.
It is a big number.
Yeah.
So the factors there that you just talked about, some of that is talent development, workforce development.
Absolutely.
So is this, hey, all these things that we're doing in educating and preparing our students to get out into the workforce, then they have an impact. And it sounds like they're not fleeing. They're not saying, great, I got my degree in Jacksonville and now I'm going to another state.
Oh, absolutely, and that's something we're very proud of also, Kent, is that if you look at all other state universities in the state of Florida, UNF leads the pack in the percentage of students who graduate and have jobs in the state of Florida. Almost 80% of our students graduate and stay here in the state and make it much better. Also, more than 60% stay in our region right here. So we pride ourselves at UNF to be the #1 talent provider for businesses here.
So we know that's good for the economic development in our region. So people in the city of Jacksonville say, yeah, that's great. Why is that a priority for someone who leads a university? Why is that important?
Yeah. First of all, it is a priority for our community, for our city, for our region. And the reason is very clear. When businesses want to expand here, or when we want to attract businesses who are looking for new locations, what do you think is their #1 questions?
If I move there, will I have people who can work in my business?
Talent.
Yeah.
Actually, they have 3 questions. Okay. Talent, talent, and talent.
Those are the 3.
Yeah, these are really 3 very important questions. So that's why and you look at throughout the country, every vibrant city has a vibrant public university in its backyard. And that's what UNF is for Jacksonville, for Northeast Florida.
Yeah, we were talking before we started our interview, but it's been less than 2 years since you came aboard and took the leadership role at UNF. But at that time, we're still in a pandemic.
Absolutely.
And I know your background, you had been over in Tampa area.
Yes.
Are there things that you learned there that you can plug in or that have been part of your experience in this year and 3 months, I think you said, right?
Yes, and 4 days and 5 hours. Of course, spending 10 years in a great city and great region, Tampa Bay, I've learned a lot. First of all, I really got to understand the state university systems. We speak the same language. We have the same challenges. We are part of one group, the best system in the country. So that really prepared me for this job. Also, having a chance to interact with great businesses in the Tampa Bay prepared me to hit the ground truly listening and running here. So that's one of the things we have done in my early tenure here. So in addition to just the economic impact, we wanted also to show our stakeholders internally and externally, we want to show the taxpayers and our legislators that actually UNF provides one of the best return in investment, if not the best. So we looked at what is the return on investment for every dollar that the taxpayers and our legislators invest in UNF. Yeah. And the results are amazing.
I read ahead in my notes here, but yeah, what is that number? It's a pretty...
$1 will give you $11. Yeah. When you invest $1, UNF will give you back in impact $11. That's not 11%.
Right.
That's 11-fold. That's much more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When talking about contributing to the labor force and productivity, so one of the big bold points of this impact study, I'm reading that UNF contributes to the labor force productivity. The gain associated with the 2022 graduates estimated to be $56 million just for that year, 2022.
That's just for 2022. And you know, simply put, that $56.7 million is the added value, if you want. So we compare that to students with their UNF degree compared to if they did not have their UNF degree. Okay. The difference is $56.7 million. This is how much value in just 1 year we add to the labor market productivity. And remember, when these graduates, they have great salaries and they stay here, the impact is multiple. Why? First of all, of course, it's really good for the GDP and HEMS, but also these graduates, they buy houses, they go consume in restaurants, they go different places, and that creates a very healthy economy. It creates what we call the unstoppable Jacksonville machine.
So, President Limayen, I know as we look at this, in order for you to have that impact on the workforce, then what you're teaching, what you're offering in terms of courses and training at UNF has to be in those areas that businesses are saying, that are in demand, that businesses are saying, I need someone. Absolutely. What are those silos? What are those elements that you say, we want to be the best at training in? Is it financial technology or medicine, or what are those things?
That's great. So, let's start by saying is, you know, our city and our region here is one of the fastest growing in the country. There is no doubt. We've been growing at more than 20% for the last few years. That is great, but also that is makes it more important for us to produce the talent needed for that growth, right? It's very important because, as we said, that's the #1 request for businesses. So it's not enough to have graduates, but we need graduates who have the necessary skills in the areas where there is high demand so that we can keep businesses here, and we also increase the number of businesses who are moving to our city and our region. So that's why we have been listening, working with the chamber, working with JAX USA and many other organizations to really learn what are the needs. And you're absolutely right. Healthcare, nursing, huge gap.
There's demand for that.
The demand is absolutely amazing. That's what we're strengthening. You look at with the port and expansion, supply chain and logistics, with these all these financial institutions coming one after the other, wanting to expand here. So fintech, cybersecurity, data is really important. Our coastal line here is hungry for talent to make sure that we increase the resiliency. So that's why marine biology and coastal resiliency is really important for us. So not only in our vision, we want to move from 17,000 students today to 25,000 students by 2028. Okay. We want that growth to be strategic.
So 8,000 more students in the next 5 years.
In the next 5 years.
4 years, really.
Yeah, 4 years and a half. Yes.
How do you do that? And I think about this, and the reason I put it that way, as a high school student looking at a college, how do I decide where I'm going to go? And I know that sometimes it's a matter of convenience. Hey, I'm in Jacksonville, so here's my state school, and it's close by or it's convenient.
Absolutely.
But there's got to be more of a draw there, right? Yeah. How do you position that to bring in the great students who are going to be great employees down the road?
Absolutely. So as you said it so nicely, Kent, you cannot grow in 4 years plus by 8,000 students by going at it blindly. You need a very well articulated enrollment plan, and that's why we hired the best in the country to manage us with this throughout this growth. So this growth, yes, it will be by what we call FTIC, or first time in college, or high schoolers going to college, but also we're gonna strengthen our transfer populations, students who went to a community college, state college, and wants to, after 2 years, transfer. So that's
get an AA or get some of that experience
and then transfer. Also, graduate. There's just a huge potential, especially in the areas that we just mentioned, where the demand is there, where actually the supply of talent is much lower than the demand. So graduate programs, out-of-state students, international students, online programs. So when you look at all of this, that's what will make that strategic growth possible. So we want to get bigger and better.
How do you explain to someone, if you just give them, hey, here's our goal by 2028, 25,000 students. How do you explain why that's important? What is the reason for that growth or expansion?
Great question, Kent. And it's not, I always tell people, this is not a number that we went to my office, closed the door, and said, what is a good number here? Right. 25 sounds good. No, absolutely not. So we did a lot of studies, and what we try to do is, first of all, understand the growth of our city and our region, and also understand the infrastructure, human and physical, because admitting students is one side of the equation, making sure that they have all what they need, human resources, but also physical space.
So they need housing, they need places to take classes, classrooms, all of those things.
They need more professors, we need more mentors, we need more advisors, we need mental health counselors. So that's where we looked at the growth of our region. And if you just look at the growth of Jacksonville and Northeast Florida, and you translate that, and there are models that will help you in any region take that growth and translate it to what should be the enrollment of the main university. Today, UNF should be at 30,000. If we just translate that. So 25, we're being still conservative, and we want to do it. Eventually, we're going to reach the 30,000, but we wanted that goal for 25,000. It is well thought out, as I said, takes into consideration the growth of the region, but the importance of growing our faculty and staff, and also our physical infrastructure.
So, and I'm curious about this, when we look at healthcare in the region, we've got different medical systems,
Absolutely.
We've got teaching, or hospitals, I should say. I know there are plans down the road, even at Mayo Clinic expanding. We see expansion all over. There's some competition there, of course. Is that the same thing in higher education? So are you in direct competition? FSCJ is one of those places that can send students your way after 2 years, but they wouldn't mind having them all four. Edward Waters University, Jacksonville, Flagler College down in St. Augustine. Are you in competition there, or is there a way that you complement each other?
Absolutely teamwork. Okay. Our community needs us to collaborate. It's really interesting. You mentioned FSCJ. Just this morning, I had breakfast with President John Avendano, looking for ways we can both partner even more so that we can meet the growing demand in talent. We have regular meeting with my good friend Tim Koss, the president of JU. And also this is not, there is enough for everyone. We barely duplicate each other, but we're more additive. And even in areas where we offer similar programs because there is a need. Take, for example, nursing. It's a huge need. We're not meeting that demand. So we need to collaborate even more with everyone who wants to collaborate. So this is one of the things that is really unique to Jacksonville and to Northeast Florida. We not just collaborate, Kent, we like each other. We really do.
That probably helps in terms of
really helps, and we get
well.
along very well. We're good friends, and we're determined to put our resources together so that we can help our community be even better.
Well, I wanted to kind of transition into that. I know that strong community partnerships is something we wanted to talk about, and I think about even this last week, UNF announcing this collaboration with JEA, a Sustainable Solutions Lab at UNF. Maybe explain what that is.
Yes. So, you know, the collaboration and partnerships with community and with businesses is actually not an afterthought. It is when we revamped our strategic plan last year, that was one of our top priorities in addition to student success, faculty and staff success, research and innovation. So community partnerships, community engagement is part of the DNA of UNF. And this is a great example. We, as you said last week, we cut the ribbon on a very innovative, creative, impactful, relevant, and timely partnership with the JEA that actually started since 2001, and we're working very hard with the JEA wonderful team to strengthen. So they are financially supporting us to create this research lab for sustainable solutions where faculty and students, they work with partners from the industry to come up with truly sustainable solutions. Let me give you an example that you really like that, Ken. So just this morning, when I went to go to the ribbon cutting ceremony, they made me drive a golf cart.
Okay.
But this is not like any other golf cart. Our students took a golf cart, teared apart, took the battery out, and put a new infrastructure, new engine that is 100% by hydrogen.
Okay.
Now, you say, you know, what's the difference? It takes 5 minutes to charge. It goes as far as 120 miles and zero emission.
Okay.
Zero. Hydrogen, all it emits was just water, steam. That's what, imagine your students and you're working on a project like this, and then you go and apply for jobs, or even the other way around.
Why should I hire you? Well, let me tell you about some of the work I've done, including.
Exactly. So we looked at other projects that were done with students, like effective and efficient ways to transport hydrogen from one place to the other. Effective, efficient, very unique, innovative, creative ways. You analyze the hydrogen, so you look at the concentrations to make sure that you're having the right concentration for the best combustion for your engine. All of these are students and faculty with partners. I call it, Kent, the WWW. It's not the World Wide Web, it's the win-win-win. The biggest winners are the students because they get lifelong skills, professional skills.
Win-win-win for the talent that people are looking for.
Exactly, and the win for the business community, because now all of a sudden they can really have that very distinctive talent that actually can hit the ground running. And we win as UNF because that's what we do. We want to be a resource for this community. We want businesses to stay here, expand here, and we bring more businesses. So it's wins all over.
Well, on our show, and we're just a month in on doing this that is focused, our business edition focused on economic growth and development in our region. But one of the topics that we tackled was workforce development and how there are apprenticeship programs like Miller Electric and through the Northeast Florida Builders Association has apprenticeship programs, all of that. But this kind of lines up, okay, on the higher education side, we'll do this as well, get a robust workforce. We've also done something just recently where we talked about artificial intelligence.
Yes.
And I see a list here. You've had a fintech symposium, healthcare symposium. I think that this artificial intelligence conversation that the Business Association had was at UNF as well.
Absolutely.
That seems like you've got some momentum there trying to bring people together to talk about these different ideas.
Yeah, and this is really one of the things, again, part of our strategic emphasis on community partnership and engagement. We want to position UNF as the thought leader, as the platform where experts will come from academia, from the industry, to debate about challenges, opportunities, create good things for our community. And I tell you, I was so proud with the level and the depth of the discussions and the conclusions were drawn and the recommendations were made after the FinTech Symposium or the Healthcare Symposium. It is so refreshing to see everybody coming together for the good of the community, how we all be good. And one of the things that, again, related to talent development is very soon we will be announcing, and so this is fresh.
Okay, you're breaking some news right now.
I'm breaking right here, get ready, is what we call is BizTech Academy. So let me tell you what is BizTech Academy. It is at the heart of talent development. I think one of the challenges in higher education is universities are big machines. They're sometimes really slow to act and meet the demand of the talent, and this is what led to what we call the talent crisis or the talent gap. And it's normal. If a company like FIS or Bank of America or any other institution, they want and say, we want expertise in this area. If we want to create a new program, 2 years of approval, 1 year to recruit students, 4 years to graduate them, that's too late.
Not very nimble.
Not very nimble. We still need these 4 years, 2 years, 4 years, and 6 years for master's and PhD, but we have to rethink the talent. And at UNF, we're leaders at this. So the BizTech Academy will say, we have a company, for example, that needs certain expertise in artificial intelligence. You mentioned artificial intelligence. This is how we will proceed. And we started piloting this. We said, okay, give us your experts. We will give you our faculty. They will work together to co-design a certificate. Now, the new generation call it badge, digital badge for certain courses. And we co-teach it together. So instead of waiting for 7, 8 years to give you the talent, in a matter of a couple of months, few weeks, we're going to give you a wider funnel of talent with the skills that you absolutely need. Now, you might say, how do you know, Moez, that these are exactly what they need? We co-designed it together. We co-designed, our faculty co-designed it with the experts from businesses. So we're sure to hit the mark there. We co-teach it together. We open it, and even at UNF, we'll open it for JU, we'll open it for Edward Water, for FSCJ, for any students, because what we really want is to serve businesses. So you see, we are rethinking talent development, and really UNF is a leader in this area.
Is that a change in mentality, or is it a paradigm shift for higher education to work that closely with business, or is it just a accelerated way of doing it as in the past?
I think it's really a paradigm shift. I see it a paradigm shift. We're saying we're not questioning the degrees, the bachelor, masters, and we still need them. We still need well-rounded. But I think where we were lagging behind, where we were not fulfilling the needs of businesses, is in that you'd call it being nimble. You're absolutely right. We, not UNF, academia in general, have not been very nimble in answering the needs. We believe with the BizTech Academy, working hand in hand, co-designing curriculum, co-offering it, opening up to a wider population, we will be able to give the talent needed in a timely manner, in numbers, quality, both.
BizTech Academy, when does this start?
We're working on it, and hopefully in a few months it will start.
Okay.
We're piloting it with some partners now, and we're going to our wonderful legislators, and hopefully they will fund it for us this session, because I think it's a really game changer, not just for UNF, it's a game changer for Jacksonville, for our region, and for our state.
Yeah, and how fun for you, I'm sure, as the leader at UNF, to say, hey, maybe we lead the charge for the entire state.
Absolutely.
We show them the blueprint of how this is done, right?
Absolutely. This is really a model to be followed by others. This is, like you said, it's almost a paradigm shift, rethinking the talent development. Rethinking talent development in academia.
It's tough to get people to change the way that they do things and think about things, isn't it?
Absolutely. It really is. You know, that's why change is difficult.
It is.
People get used to certain ways of doing things, but at UNF, we're not afraid of changing. And you know what? We're also not afraid of failing. Because if we're not failing, we're not pushing very hard. What I tell the team at UNF, failure is an option as long as you fail fast and forward and you make the necessary adjustment. So now we're in that learning phase. We're piloting this with a couple of partners. It's okay to fail as long as we do it fast and we make adjustment. But I can assure you that this will be a game changer for our business community.
Well, and so many people, and I've been there too, you have a fear of failure. I don't want to fail. But you learn so much when you try and you fail, and then you have to make an adjustment.
Absolutely. You know, I always tell my team, Kent, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success.
How about that? Yeah.
It really is.
But we get worried about it, though. We
do. You know why? Because that brings uncertainty, and human beings don't like uncertainty.
That's for sure.
And that's why. But when you empower people to fail and said it's okay, and actually you are critical if they're not failing, because basically they're not pushing hard.
All right. So I'm inspired personally. Okay, I need to do some more things where I might fail, not be so worried about failing.
Yeah,
but I appreciate it. UNF President Moez Limayen, it is great to get to visit with you. Thank you for the time here.
Thank you so much, Ken.
Right.
Thank you for having me.
So we're constantly working to bring you more interviews like this, focused on economic growth in our region. So thanks for joining us for This Week in Jacksonville Business Edition.